In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., a riot is the language of the unheard. These words capture a pivotal moment in American history. As the civil rights movement surged, the urgency for change reached a fever pitch. King, committed to nonviolent protest, faced Malcolm X's provocative call for the ballot or the bullet. The 1960s in America revealed stark oppression. African Americans were denied basic rights, their frustrations boiling over. Questions loomed: how far would the struggle for justice go? What measures were acceptable in the fight for equality? King's unwavering commitment to nonviolence contrasted starkly with Malcolm X's insistence on self-defense and urgency. King viewed nonviolence as a tool to awaken the nation's conscience. He believed love was more potent than hatred. Meanwhile, Malcolm X's fiery rhetoric resonated with those who felt ignored. The ballot symbolized hope, while the bullet represented despair and powerlessness. As tensions escalated, King faced a critical choice. Should he continue to champion nonviolence, or acknowledge the anger within the community? The crossroads forced him to grapple with Malcolm X's challenge. The call for immediate action echoed through the streets, and leaders demanded a re-evaluation of strategies. King's dedication to peaceful protest was put to the test. In the years following the landmark Brown v. Board of Education decision in 1954, which declared segregation in public schools unconstitutional, King witnessed a slow, agonizing struggle. The promise of equality was unfulfilled. The Montgomery bus boycott of 1955, sparked by Rosa Parks' arrest for refusing to give up her seat, ignited activism. The boycott lasted for over a year and saw African Americans uniting in a powerful display of solidarity, yet the harsh realities of police brutality and economic disparity remained ever present. The air in Montgomery felt electric with a palpable energy, the determination of a community against the oppressive chains of segregation. Churches became the epicenters of planning, and within their walls, voices resonated with a fierce hope. It was here that King emerged not just as a leader but as a symbol of courage. People rallied together, refusing to ride the buses, facing the threat of job loss and arrest, yet they stood firm. The boycotters walked for miles, their spirits unyielding, their cries for justice reverberating in the streets. By 1964, as protests escalated, the movement faced a violent backlash, exemplified by the brutal attacks on the Freedom Riders, individuals who rode interstate buses to challenge segregated bus terminals, whose determination met with fury and hostility. In the spring of 1961, images of these courageous activists, beaten and bloodied for seeking basic rights, shocked the nation. The murder of civil rights activists, including the heinous killing of Medgar Evers in June 1963, served as a haunting reminder of the stakes involved, a gut-wrenching moment that King felt deeply, shattering the fragile hope he had nurtured in the hearts of millions. King witnessed firsthand how the struggle exacted a toll, not just on protesters but on families and communities, each loss further fueling the fire of discontent. Amidst this turmoil, King delivered a powerful speech at the founding of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party in 1964, urging recognition of the disillusionment felt by African Americans. He passionately stated, "We are demanding a full slice of the pie." His words echoed with the urgency of a desperate plea, capturing the aspirations of an entire community yearning for acknowledgement and respect. The crowd erupted with a mix of tears and applause, a moment filled with reverberating hope, yet underscored by the reality that many still faced poverty and exclusion. The summer of 1964 saw the Freedom Summer Campaign, where King envisioned mobilizing voters to dismantle the old order. Thousands flocked to Mississippi to register, risking their lives in the face of hostility and brutality. Images of young activists, faces determined yet scared, etched into the national consciousness, a vivid testament to resilience. The brutal image of corpses buried in shallow graves served as silent witnesses to their sacrifices and galvanized support across the nation. Those who ventured into Mississippi knew the risks. Yet, their bravery illuminated a path forward, one that spotlighted the urgent need for change. At the 1964 Democratic National Convention in Atlantic City, King thrust civil rights to the forefront, demanding acknowledgement of failures past. "We will not turn our backs on our brothers and sisters," he declared. This was not mere rhetoric, it ignited the spirits of millions longing for justice. Throughout the convention, the sight of African American delegates, eyes gleaming with hope and determination, created an electric atmosphere that reverberated through the halls, compelling the nation to confront the moral imperative of civil rights. As cameras flashed and networks broadcasted the proceedings, the message was clear: equality could no longer be sidelined. Yet, the allure of armed self-defense grew as frustration boiled over. King felt the weight of history pressing upon him and his followers. Could nonviolence still withstand the relentless assault of oppression, the cries for justice drowned out by violence? As the year culminated with the passage of the Civil Rights Act in July 1964, a landmark legislation prohibiting discrimination based on race, King understood that laws alone would not erase the deep-seated inequities that plagued the nation. Activism needed to bridge the chasm between the ballot and the clamor for assertive actions, and King felt destined to lead that charge. The act was a monumental victory, yet he knew that discriminatory practices persisted in the shadows, often hidden beneath an illusion of progress. Discontent simmered, and King knew dialogue was necessary. He stood at a crossroads representing a profound question of identity. What did justice mean in a world steeped in violence? His unwavering commitment to nonviolence became a choice, a steadfast belief that love could conquer hate amidst the chaos surrounding him. He often reflected on the words of Mahatma Gandhi, who inspired him profoundly, believing that true strength lay not in physical force but in moral courage. As King envisioned the path ahead, he pondered deeply: could love withstand the tide of hatred that sought to engulf the movement? In that moment, amid turmoil, King stood at the precipice of a defining choice, one that would reverberate through history. During the 1964 election season, he delivered his landmark speech, "The Ballot or the Bullet." The speech, delivered in a time of urgency, was a masterclass in rhetoric. His words flowed with burning intensity, capturing the tension between hope and despair, enacting change through the ballot versus the consequences of violence. He posed the question: what good is the ballot if the bullet has been promised? His words ignited a spark, illuminating the necessity of political engagement while warning of the looming threats. King crystallized the struggle. He was fighting for lives and dignity. Each phrase struck with precision, challenging his listeners to confront their fears and take a stand. The choice was a stark reality defining existence, challenging each individual to discern their role in the quest for equality, whether to choose the path of righteousness or succumb to the despair that the struggle had engendered. King's rhetoric became a rallying cry, urging every citizen to consider their stake in democracy and their responsibility to uphold it. This moment defined not only King's legacy but the trajectory of the civil rights movement. As he concluded, the crowd's applause resonated, a heartbeat of collective struggle, transforming urgency into inspiration. King had woven his vision into the essence of their fight, emphasizing that justice was a tangible possibility they could strive for together. His belief in the potential for change was contagious, and the collective spirit was palpable, each clap echoing with a promise to continue the fight. Decades later, his legacy resonates profoundly. The choice he laid before us remains relevant. The core struggle for justice persists, and King's call for active participation is crucial. His belief in nonviolent resistance still echoes in contemporary activism, reverberating through movements that demand equality and justice today. The streets of Ferguson and Baltimore, filled with demonstrators raising their voices, remind us that the struggle is ongoing. The pathways he carved during the 1960s urge us to reflect on our methods in pursuing justice. The haunting question lingers: are we prepared to choose the ballot over the bullet? As communities grapple with violence and systemic oppression, each step forward must learn from history. King's wisdom continues to inspire. He teaches that we must leverage available tools to amplify our fight for equality. Reflect on King's message in your life. Will you wield the ballot for change or let discontent fester in silence? Stand firm against injustice, uplift stifled voices, and carry forward the mantle of equality. The journey for justice is long, but it is a calling beckoning all who dream for a better world. Let King's wisdom guide you. Take action for a future built on love, understanding, and unwavering strength.